1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Apparently counting is hard. Hello there, and welcome back to All the Mods 9. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So yeah, there's 6 spots between lights, so we're gonna have to go change that a little bit. But I was thinking, this looks terrible. Thankfully, we have clear glass from the connected glass mod, which is just any 4 glass in a grid together, so we can do that. Make the connected glass, and then when we put this down, it looks much better. However, we have a small problem. We do not have Silk Touch yet. If I make this enchanter from Ender.io, I can take any book and quill, the slime ball, lapis, 13 levels, and turn into a Silk Touch. To make the enchanter, that's actually really cheap. 4 dark steel, I've definitely picked up more than 4 from random loot chests, a book, and a pair of diamonds. So how about we get that started right away, so I can make a Silk Touch pick. Actually, I think I might just make my Paxel Silk Touch, and then we can pick up all this glass and replace it with the connected textures glass. Yep, I got 8, so making this is just literally 2 clicks. Should grab some slime. Then I have lapis right over here, so I can pop this down. Oh, I don't have a book and quill. And now I do. Alright, so book and quill, slime, lapis, 13 levels. Munch down on a few of these. And there we go. And then I can go to this, toss that in there. How many levels am I going to need? 4. And voila! Now we have our Silk Touch Paxel. We can go back and actually pick up all that glass. Well, that's sitting around at our base. Actually, I should probably leave this here. It's much better. So I'm going to rebuild this. This is going to be our trying to think of a correct way to say this that doesn't sound completely wrong. Bee breeding area. Let's go for that. Oh, and I noticed we got a tin bee last time instead of an iron bee. Apparently the tin bee has the same recipe. Iron bee is crystal and ashy, and so does aluminum, so does tin, and so does copper. So it looks like we have about a 1/4 chance of getting the correct bee every time we breed the ashy and the crystal. So we might have to try it a few times, but that's not too bad, because then we can set up our copper and our copper and tin. We don't need 5 of. The iron we absolutely want 5 of. So at least I don't have to go out and look for more bees to get that started. But for now, we're going to just rebuild this little area here and get back to work making our bees. And before you ask, nope, still using the broken mouse. New mouse should arrive tomorrow. Doesn't help me now, but at least it means I'll have a working mouse, a properly working mouse, soon. And yeah, this looks much better. So now I have to do that over here, which means I should probably pick up the beehive before I do, so I don't have to worry about the bees taking off. Yeah, that looks so much better. And okay, so I want to show you something quickly. So we have regular old Minecraft glass, then we have the connected glass. If you use, so this does not have Silk Touch, that does. So if I use a regular pick on it, it turns into glass shards. You get between 2 and 5 each. I mean 2 and 4 each. You need 4 to turn it back into glass. If you do that on the connected glass, it breaks. You don't get it back. So yeah, if you're going to be working with the connected glass, make sure you have Silk Touch because you will not get refunded the glass when it breaks. And I moved that light back, so now it's all nice and evenly spaced. I was saying... I see where I messed up. 4, 5, that's 6. That should be the spot. There. Okay, let me fix this. Well, it took me quite a while, but I managed to get a second iron bee. Meanwhile, I got 3 copper and 3 tin bees. So it's not 1/4, and I haven't gotten any of the other bee. What was the other bee? I completely forget now. Aluminum. I haven't gotten any aluminum bees yet. Okay, well, it's not that important. I did get another... I did get a chocolate mining bee, and that's what we need for the redstone bee. Yes, yep, it's what we need for the redstone bee. So we got that taken care of. Got 2 ashy. I got a vanilla bee, as in base Minecraft. So I don't know if that... I assume it uses the advanced hives and just collects honey as normal. So I don't know, I'll hold on to that for now. We got the chocolate bee, so I can go look about making the redstone bee. And if we open up our bee pack, I went to the nether. I made a glowstone nest, a nether gold nest, a quartz nest, and a soul nest. And so I have another crystal bee, so I've got 2 crystal bees, so we can breed up the crystal bees and start collecting quartz. I got 2 glowing bees, so we get glowstone. Got 2 gold bees, so we got gold, and I got a ghost bee. I don't know if I'm going to need a ghost bee, but we have a ghost bee now, which means I now have 3 there. Iron can go in the one I already have, and you can see that iron bee is doing a little spinny there. We can set up a bee nest or a advanced beehive for both copper and tin. Means I can remove the redstone from there. I've got 3 nests, so that's 1, 2, 3, and then I'm out, and I still got to make the redstone one, so I've got to go get more honey. Let's see, how's this doing? Okay, it's got 3 of each. This has, well, none yet because there's only 1 bee working it. Is that the iron one? Yes, it is. We're just gonna put him... Oh yeah, he's mad at me. So my mouse is still broken, as I said earlier. So my mouse has like 16 buttons on it. And next to my left click, I have a rapid fire left click, which when you click it, it's supposed to simulate the left click 3 times. I have that right now bound as my right mouse button. And so I've accidentally left clicked the bees instead of right clicking them with these cages, and yeah, the bees aren't too happy when you do that. Thankfully they don't actually die. Jeez, he's loud. When they sting you. They're not like the vanilla bees where if they sting you they lose their stinger and then they die. So now we've got 2 iron bees. I can look at making an upgrade. This one here, the baby upgrade. When installed a hive, there's a 5% chance of a new baby bee to be spawned from the hive every time honey is delivered. Type of bees based on the bees present in the hive. Doesn't work if the bees can't breed. Multiple upgrades can be installed to make it greater. I think I have one of these already, and they don't look that expensive, although that's going to require more honeycomb, and I'm a little short on honeycomb, especially since I was thinking about making some of these honey agglomerations, which I could then use to make honey seeds, which I could then use to make honey essence, which I can use to make more honeycomb. Not 100% sure why I want to do that, since I will have all the honey I will ever need once these guys are fully producing them. But it's an option. We have tin. We have copper. So let's swap out the redstone for tin and that one for copper. Back to the B pack. Grab those. Put one there and one there. Oh, I'm gonna want one for each of these. I'm gonna need a gold one. I have gold right here. I can just set up a gold beehive right now if I want to. Expansion hive and that. Okay, so that gets me some gold bees. Let's grab the copper and the tin ones. I don't need to worry about breeding the copper or tin ones. I'm not going to need that many copper or tin bees. Having 3 of each is more than enough. That one's apparently still mad at me also. Unfortunately, my armor has this knockback, or sorry, the rebounding 10. So when something hits me, it goes flying, which is real funny when like a skeleton or a zombie hits me and it goes flying 20-30 blocks away. I had a skeleton hit me, or no, had a zombie, nope, sorry, it was a piglin that hit me from above and it shot up and came down and died from the fall damage. Okay, so well, now we've got this going. We've got 5 hives. We've got 5 sets of bees. I need to get a lot more glass bottles for each of the hives. But we're going to need a lot more honey. Let's see, since I really don't have that much honeycombs, and I need... What was it? We need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 honeycombs per advanced beehive. So I have enough to make 1 more right now. Not really using the honey as much. Yeah, there's not all that much I can do with the honey, it looks like. Oh, well, look at that. You can turn honey into bottles of enchanting. That's interesting. All right, well, so it means we're going to get a lot more honey than honeycombs, and we need the honeycombs more than the honey. Although we can use it to make treats, which, you know, we then catch more bees with. None of them should be mad at me anymore. And, oh, that tin bee is in the wrong nest. And so is that copper bee. That one's actually a pretty good one. High productivity. I think productivity affects how often they leave the nest. And produce, well, whatever product they're making. Because every time a bee re-enters the nest, it adds... Or so every time they leave. Every time they leave the nest, it adds 1 honey to this counter. And once you get 5, you get a bottle and a honeycomb. I got to make more... nests. We got to expand this out further. I don't know if I want to expand it this way or that way, or just do both. Might just do both. Might move the door so that it's sideways like this. I mean, eventually, once I add the ceiling, I can get rid of the glass roof and just have a like an entire segment of this floor would just be a giant bee apiary with each bee having their own nests. Actually, the way I can fix the bee being in the wrong nest is I can always pull them when they get out, pick them back up, and then shift clicking them on the ground will reset their nest. Because here it says the glowing bee, it has its own hive position saved, and that's in the nether. Sneak while releasing will reset the hive position, so we'll take up whatever the closest nest is. Oh, closest available nest. Anyway. Oh, wow, they all came out at once. And that's why you want the simulation upgrade. So you don't have... let's see, it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, entities popping up at once. We're gonna go get some glass bottles so we can have more honeycomb. Make more honey bottles. Make more honey. Oh, I have glass here. And I got a crafting upgrade specifically for my bee pack, so I can do this nice and easy. 19 bottles. That should be enough for a while, since the only ones producing honey quickly are these guys here. And because a tin bee went in, now it's got a tin comb. Wait, now there's... Oh wait, that's the iron one. We have a base upgrade. We have a bee upgrade. The bay bee upgrade. No, let's grab this pickup upgrade. Do I want in that, or do I want it in... Put in that. That way it'll just auto pick up anything that's on the ground. Alright, so that gets us the baby upgrade. What we can also do in the future is make... Here, these are productivity upgrades. Increases the productivity output of the bees. Multiple upgrades. Make them fast. Work better. Oh, this one also functions as a simulator upgrade. So this one is like having the simulator upgrade and a really good productivity upgrade. But yeah, it takes these echo shards, which look like they're going to be fun to get. Oh, we should open up the guidebook and see about what stuff we can actually turn in. We got the basic upgrade, and that's going to give me another upgrade, some XP, and a random quest reward. Maybe it'll give us a another beehive, honey treat, and some XP. Expansion box, more honeycombs, more honeycombs. Your first beehive, more honeycombs. This dandelion, honeycombs, XP, honey bottles. Sturdy hive, good. Those are hard to get. More XP, more XP. We're gonna be dumping all of that. Honey treats, more XP. Nest spawning, we saw how to do that. And we've got a quartz nest, nether nest, sand nest, glowstone nest. These are all ones, so you can craft a lot of these nests, and I'll show you that right here. So for example, to make this gold nest, we needed to take a diamond sword, and it had to be diamond. It could be enchanted. Obviously I was going to use my good one, and it will make the nest, and it consumes the sword. Some of them require dirt swords. They are not interchangeable, so I could not use a diamond sword on this, and I could not use a dirt sword on this one. I did want to make a reed nest next, though, because I need a specific bee from the reed nest. What was it? Well, I think I need both of them. The reed, the mason, and the reed bee. So that gets us another nest we can toss into our bee pack. Let's see now. Go back here. That gets us that. And I could have sworn I already clicked accept for that. Aha, and as we pick up the combs, we'll get credit for a bunch of these different things. Oh, I already got that one. And I got that one. That's for the Ashy Bee. Let's see. All the Modium progression. We haven't gotten there yet. Next is a centrifuge. The centrifuge is used to process combs from bees into useful items and honey. While I can definitely just use a regular centrifuge in the beginning, getting a power centrifuge soon after is a must. It's faster and it runs off power. If you're looking for the best way to process your combs, the heated centrifuge is even faster and can even process comb blocks. So to make this, we need a grindstone and a cauldron or a grindstone in a little bit of a well there. So let's do that. Oh, I actually had everything for that. Nice. Now what I can do, put that down. And I don't have my, don't have any extra combs with me. So how about we go back home? Oh, turn this off. And then we'll look at working the centrifuge up there. All right, so we have a few combs here. let's test out the centrifuge. We're just going to do one for now. Put that down. Put this in. All right, and it just processes by itself. I don't need to provide it power or click it or anything. Well, this is the unpowered version, but I mean, like, some mods, like you have to hand crank. I don't need a hand crank this one. That gives me half 50 millibuckets of honey and 1 bit of wax. The wax can be applied like beeswax to any copper items so that they don't change their oxidization anymore. I can also turn them into blocks, but there's not weathering station. What's that do? Ah, you can put copper items into it to help accelerate the weathering process. Oh, that's kind of cool. Tangent. Sorry. You can turn them into wax blocks, but there doesn't really appear to be much you can do with it otherwise. So it's not really much use that I'm seeing for the wax outside of what you would use honeycombs for. But the important thing is, and it didn't actually do it this time, if I look at the copper one, there's a 40% chance, or at least there's a 40% chance with the copper, that it turns into a bit of copper, which you can then process. So yeah, that's how we will be producing some of our minerals at the very least. Let's see, we got 1 advanced tie from doing our missions. And that was kind of it. There we go. Another honeycomb for completing the centrifuge mission. So I'm gonna go create a couple more hives. Gonna dump out my XP. And then we will expand this a bit more. Well, I decided to expand it out, so I just made some more concrete for a roof. Made it nice and orange so that we have a little color contrast. Also made the lights orange. They kind of look yellow, but they're supposed to be orange. Actually, I like that. It's less monotonous. And if we go inside, I've made almost a runner, which is going to go between the different groups of beehives as we're adding them in. But yeah, just again, a little bit of color just so it's not as monotonous. So we've got redstone, quartz, and glowstone, and that corresponds to our glowing bees, our crystalline bees, and the redstone bees I literally just bred up. And I put that in the wrong spot. Meh. Nah, I actually, I was gonna say good enough, but I actually don't think it is. I think if it's facing the wrong way, it won't work when I have the simulation added. Alright, so glowstone bees. It just went into the wrong hives. Let's see, this is crystal. And redstone and redstone. And they are all gonna go to the absolute wrong hives, aren't they? We got glow one in there. Well, they'll sort themselves out eventually. I've got the baby upgrade in here, so eventually this will produce a baby iron bee. Yeah, look at all the bees we now have. This is why we're gonna need... Okay, I know I saw the redstone thing said something about escape artist. Where did they go? Did I just lose my redstone bees already? Maybe they're in a different... Okay, there's one in that nest. There's one in that nest. Okay. So they're not lost. They're just being a nuisance. Good to know. Alright, so when I eventually get the stuff I need to make the upgrades, especially the simulations, I will start putting the simulations in so that the bees don't go flying off every which way. They'll stick around to just their nest, which might mean I'm going to have to stand around here and manually catch all of them, grab their nest, go out to like in there, place the nests down again, put all the bees down, wait for them to go into their nest, and then pick it back up. But yeah, so we're getting a ton of different combs. I'll start just pulling all these out. We do not get wooden combs, unfortunately. We just have a whole bunch of wood logs here, which I don't really need right now. And then we could just toss these in here. Let's toss the copper in. These will process down. Quick thing to note, if you decide to pick up the centrifuge, ooh, it actually renders all of them. That's kind of cool. If you pick up the centrifuge, when there's honey in this slot, yeah, the honey disappears. It does not maintain its inventory. So that's, well, it doesn't save the honey in the inventory. Any product in this grid here will be kicked out and you could pick it up, but the honey is destroyed. You should be able to pick up the honey using a glass bottle, I assume. Ah, right. If I make a bottler, I can have the bottler connected next to the centrifuge. The honey will leave the centrifuge into the bottler, and the bottler will put it into glass bottles. And here we go. It's 40% chance, and so I've done 5 and I've gotten 2. Oh, this bottler is easy to produce. So let's just do that right now, and it's one less thing to worry about. I am running out of glass again, however. So I don't have all that much. Oh, I've got glass. Can I use the connected glass? I cannot. Okay. So I'm going to have to just use regular glass to make more bottles. And that automatically transfers the honey out. Nice. And it looks like it's 250 honey per bottle. You know what? I'm going to pull a bunch of these copper combs out so I can use them for making more beehives and whatnot. Yep, 250 per bottle. Nice. You know, I think productivity affects how many combs they make, because I just put these guys in and they're already producing a bunch of redstone combs. You know, maybe the book says, but I'm guessing high productivity either produces 6 or 3 per cycle. Genetics, attributes, levels are normal, medium, high, very high. Produces more combs per trip. Right. Oh, here we go. Endurance. When a bee's max affects the bee's max health, with high endurance, the bee has a chance to not lose its stinger when attacking. Okay, so that's why when I accidentally punched the bees and they stung me, they didn't die. Some bees apply effects to nearby players. Okay, and that's why I've had buffs. But okay, so normal, medium, high, very high. The redstone bees are high, as is one of these tin bees. So, and by the way, the bee upgrade gave me a baby iron bee. Okay, there's 2 in here, so that means that the crystalline has done 2 cycles. Okay, so 1 for normal, 2 for medium, 3 for high. That must be it. And none of these have bees in them, although the crystal bee has gone over here, which has gotten me, well, 1 tick. Alright, that answers that question. So I was thinking, our base is all the way out here. Well, we do have our colony over here. And while we're at the colony, the base is unloaded. And while we're at the base, the colony is unloaded. Now, I do not want to chunk load the colony. The main issue with this is while the colony is chunk loaded, raids can happen. Now, it's not that far to go from here to there, especially thanks to the waystones. It's almost instantaneous. But if I'm working over here in the colony and a raid happens here, I gotta stop what I'm doing, go over, clear out the raid, and come back. I really don't want to have to worry about that. So I'm not going to worry about chunk loading the colony. But SGC over here, which you can't really see too well above ground. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I can't really make it show the underground too well, but it's this whole area here. What I can do is I can claim some chunks. and I can have them force loaded. In other mod packs, they have chunk loaders. You put them down, it keeps that chunk or those surrounding chunks loaded. I haven't seen any of those chunk loader mods in a while. That was something quite popular back in like 1.7, I think 1.12, but I haven't seen it in 1.18 or 1.20. But we can claim these chunks. So I want to claim all the chunks that make up where our base is going to be. So that's 20 chunks right there, and that should cover most of the inside of our base. I need to figure out how to force load these chunks. Okay, that removed it. That adds it back. Chunks claimed. I'll have to see how to force load them. But once I have them force loaded, then I can be back at our colony, and these bees will continue to produce honey. The grindstone down there will continue to produce sand and gravel. Our mechanism stuff will continue to run. And this way I don't have to worry about leaving and any progress just stopping. So I'm going to look into how to force load these chunks, and then we're going to be golden. Okay, it's shift left click. Whatever you click and drag will be force loaded. So if I claim this chunk here and then I shift click it, it's now force loaded. If I right click it, it's unclaimed and unforce loaded. I think we're going to call it an end here. I've made quite a bit of progress. I'm happy with the progress we made with the bees. I am still waiting on my mouse to be delivered. It was supposed to be here Wednesday. It's been delayed due to the nor'easter and the quite high winds outside. So no new mouse, so no end fight or anything like that. Once I get that done, hopefully next episode, maybe we'll go look at going to the end, beating the dragon, getting an elytra, some shulkers, and finding ourselves some nether bees so we can breed up a diamond bee. Until then, thank you for joining me today. I hope you've had a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Later.